Hi there, Simon Atkins here from Perth Property Investments, and welcome along to 5 Minute Property School. So I've really got my work cut out today because I'm going to be showing you why cash flow at the moment is so strong, and this is unbelievable opportunity for people at the moment if you're thinking about getting into property. So I'm going to have to get straight into this because there's a lot to cover in 5 minutes. So this kind of crazy looking thing over here is actually an investment property. So this represents an investment property and this represents your bank account, okay? So I've used some numbers here that I've modeled. I've got some modeling software, and this has tried to base this on exactly how a property would work today, okay? So you can have some money flowing into your bank account from your investment property over the course of 12 months, okay? And you're also going to be having some property flowing out of your account over that 12 months. Now, few people understand this because they look at one or two things and they think they know the whole story, and you really have to know these 4 numbers, okay? This is what's super important. And this is really what, for me, the power of property and understanding how that you can do so well out of it, because if you're buying an asset that's actually looking after itself, then you're home and host, really, aren't you? All you really need to do is be able to hang on to that property over time, and this is how you do it. So, the first thing that we're going to be looking at that comes in from this property is obviously you're going to have a tenant in that property. I better drop some legs on them, and you're going to be getting paid rent. I'll put R there for rent. So over a 12-month period, at $400 a week, you'll be getting roughly $20,000 a year into your bank account. Okay, about $400 a week for this property, which would be pretty normal. Okay, around about a 5% return. Gross return, that is. On this side of the equation, you've also got a loan, okay? So I'm assuming that you've borrowed the whole amount. So if you had a house with some equity in it, you could use that to borrow the deposit plus the balance of funds and get a loan for the full amount of the property, including all your costs. And what you'll find is the loan here I've done as an interest-only loan. It could be principal and interest, but in this case I've done interest-only because on an interest-only loan, the entire amount of the loan is tax deductible, okay, for an interest-only loan on an investment property. Okay, so that's meant to be $10,502. Now I've worked that out on about 2.5%. All right, so that's the first thing. So you've got your rent coming in over the course of a year, and you've got your loan coming out. Now the first thing that's very obvious there compared to normal times when interest rates are higher, which they have been for most of my life and I've been around for a while now, is that the rent coming in is much higher than the loan cost going out, particularly with an interest-only loan. So that's the first thing. So the other expense that we're going to have here is, and I'll just put down E here for expenses, is your property management fees plus your normal costs of holding a home. And what I mean by that is rates, insurances, that type of thing. So in this case, we add on property management fees as well, and we could be looking in this scenario about $5,332. Okay. All right. So we can see already that we've got 15,800 and something going out, and it's actually covered by the amount of rent that's coming in already. So we can see that this is all our expenses that I'm allowing for here, everything. And so what that means is we've got a positive year property. Now these are normally hard to find. This is normally you'd have to go to a small town where properties don't grow very much, but they've got a high yield, or you've got to go into a risky mining town to try and get a high return, but of course you risk the mining town falling over because it's based on one economy. So all kinds of problems that you have when you buy in, much safer to buy in a large city that's got much more people, a lot of different jobs, it's run by a lot of different economies, and you're really underpinning the growth, and you're also getting what is quite unusual, you're getting positive cash flow just from the rent. Now, to add another bonus here, I've used this scenario as someone that would be on about $80,000, and they would expect to be getting about $2,000 based on that income, $131 back in tax. Okay, so if you take into account that about $20,000 is going in to your account plus what you're saving in tax, and what's going out is a 10.5 and a 5,332, you'll be left with a bit over $6,000 left in your account at the end of the year. So it's paying you to hold on to this property. You haven't paid for it. You've leveraged it out of the equity in your own home, and it's paying for itself. Okay, now if you didn't have your own home, you want to put a deposit in, that would make these numbers a little bit stronger. Because you put a deposit in, it means that the loan would even be less, because you wouldn't be borrowing quite so much. All right, so I've just ticked over 5 minutes, so I better leave it there, but I hope that makes sense. I'll just put T for tax here in case you want to refer back to this. So your rent, your loan, the tax that you get back, and the expenses on the property. Again, this is just a scenario for you to understand how this would work, and these numbers would be pretty close to what you might expect in today's numbers, just depending on your income, because that will make a difference based on your own personal situation. All right, so I hope you understand that. I hope you understand why this can be so good in this market right now. If you want to understand how this could work for you personally, then click on a link. It'll be around the video here somewhere, and you can get a free property investment blueprint for yourself, and you can see how well this could work for you based on your own unique set of circumstances. All right, I hope you got something out of that, and have a great day.